Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC and welcome to this edition of Channel Chat. And yes, I have with me once again our good buddy John, GratefulPanic. How you doing tonight, man?
Hey diddly ho, guys, doing good, man. Thank you for having me on, Jody.
I know it's funny, we were just talking about this. We set up to talk, and I when I first asked you, I was kind of like, I forgot that you were going to go live tonight. And lately, the lives have been a little long. And I'm like, man, he's not gonna want to sit here and talk to me after he does a marathon live stream.
Honestly, if we're being truthful here, there's probably nothing I would rather do more. So, I mean, I'm doing exactly what I love doing, and I'm that makes me happy. So,
Well, I mean, these. Well, let's talk about live streams because the live streams do make me very happy. They're probably the funnest part of doing YouTube. I can't lie. They're and now I know since the last time we talked, you started going. I mean, not a lot, but when you go live for a while. So what's the? I mean, is that just you just like it so much that you just said, man, we're just gonna do this and do it right?
well, yeah, and honestly, I love doing the live streams, and um, if I'm being honest, I don't even realize it's been that long until we'll be talking, and I'll go brain dead, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of like dead air going on now. What's going on? And I look up and oh, 4 hours. Okay, yeah, it's probably time to like cut it short now. So, like, I just like we get going, and it really doesn't seem like it's been that long.
No, the time flies. The time flies when
It
you're doing
does.
the live streams and stuff like that for sure. So no, I totally get that. But I just love the immediate response, the immediate communication. I mean, that's why I kind of started doing the care packages live. It's more fun to do it with somebody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's more fun to do it that way. And I think people have fun on them. So I was like, yeah, why not? Let's just do it and give it a shot. And everybody seemed to like it. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways. Like it goes for both parties involved, the viewers and us. It's instant gratification. They get our feedback instantly, and they get our feedback to their comments instantly, and we get their feedback to what it is we're doing instantly. And it's almost like we're just sitting there with our friends. If you take the camera away, we're just sitting there with our friends shooting the shit and
Yeah,
talking about things that we like.
that's exactly right. And I actually, believe it or not, I actually had somebody comment that very thing on one of my recent video. I don't remember which one it was, but he was just like, dude, man, he's like, I'm digging your videos. It's like sitting around talking knives with your buddy. And I was like, that's exactly what it's supposed to be. Whether it's live, whether it's, I mean, a review, review's a little harder because it's not that, back and forth type thing, but
Right.
that's exactly what I want to create or I'm trying to create. And I know you're the same way.
And see, I was thinking earlier with the reviews and stuff, it would almost be like if you had a say like a co-host. If there was two of you reviewing the knife, and you could kind of bounce off each other. You're talking to your buddy, and you're putting information out there. But I don't know. I think we crave that contact of because in our normal everyday lives, we're not hanging out with people that love knives like we do. So it's kind of nice in that situation to be sitting there bouncing, ideas and opinions off of somebody that feels the same way we do about knives.
Oh, for sure. That's without a doubt. Now, you said something about comments. I'm gonna ask you a quick question. And have you seen weird stuff going on with your comments, like through YouTube? Like, okay, for instance, and maybe I know I like responded. I'm big on responding. I try to
Right.
respond to pretty much every, and that can get time consuming, but I really do. I really try to do it. And I noticed it was yesterday. I had replied to some comments. I know I replied to these comments, because they had the little, you know, saying I liked it, and if I like it, I comment right away.
Right.
And I went back and I'm like, where's my comment? I know I responded. So if you're out there and you're wondering why JB's responding to the same comment twice, well, that's kind of why. I don't know what was, I don't know if I might have responded to him on my phone. And somewhere in there in the YouTube world, it didn't like jive or something. And I know they saw it because one guy actually responded to my comment. He responded back, but my comment was gone. I'm like, what in the? I don't get it.
That makes me feel real dumb then.
Why? Why?
Because I can remember a specific incident where, and it was Michael Morgan. I responded to his comment, and then when I went back because somebody else had commented, and I was scrolling through, I looked over and I was like, well, dang, my comment's gone. So I responded again. I probably responded like 4 or 5 times because it kept disappearing. So I feel like he was probably like, what is this idiot doing? He's like said the same thing 15 different ways.
Well, and
so
that's just it.
Now I feel like it showed up.
Well, yeah, I don't know, you know, and it's really odd. I was like, huh, I wonder if anybody else is having that issue. So, hey, if you got a channel and you've noticed that, let me know, because I'd be interested in knowing if that's happened, because and that's not the first time. It did it to me, I don't know, a few days ago. I was like, and I know I responded to that. I know I did. So I don't know, and but I try to respond to each one. Like I said, it can get time consuming, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun talking to people.
Actually, what I've had a rash of lately is viewer comments disappearing. Like I'll go in because everything I do is on my phone. I don't do anything. I don't have a computer or anything, so everything is like strictly on my phone. But sometimes it'll be through 99% of the time it's through the YouTube Studio app as far as responding to comments or whatever.
Right.
Very rarely do I do it on the actual YouTube app because I just don't get notifications from it at all for some reason.
Right.
But I'll go in, and you know how you can bring up, and it'll just bring up all your comments from if you have it cleared, any recent comments you've gotten on any video, it'll bring it up.
Right.
And I'll see the comment and I'll go to click on it and it won't do anything. It'll like kind of like go dim or whatever, and then it'll pop up on the bottom and say comment has been removed. Like I'm getting a lot of that lately for some reason the comment and they didn't remove it because they'll ask me later, hey, you didn't see my comment? I'm like, well, I did, but I couldn't respond to it because it kept saying it was removed.
You know, I've had that a couple of times because for a while there, I was getting all those, you know, like, you know, girly, click here, you know, all those. I was getting a lot of those. So I went back and you can, yeah, exactly. You can restrict comments, you know, that have like hashtags or whatever, because most of them have hashtags or a website. I've noticed a couple of times that I went in and there's been comments that were fine, but you know, like some people put hashtag 22 a day or something like that on their comment,
right?
And it holds it for review. No big deal. I just go in, approve it. I've noticed a couple of those when I approve it and I go back. Okay, I'm gonna go back and respond now. It's gone. And I'll go to the actual, you know, that's on my laptop. And I'll go to the actual video, to the comments on the specific video, you know, because in studio you can do them all, or you can just go to the video. So I'll go to the video and look, and I'll scroll through and I'm like, dang it, it's gone. You know, I approved it. I know I approved it. I know I didn't delete it. I approved it, but then it just like, it goes off into the ether somewhere. You know?
Well, and sometimes it'll still be there, I think, because I've had that happen, and I've actually gone onto the YouTube app, pulled up the video, and it'll say 3 comments. I mean, just an arbitrary number. It'll say like 3 comments, but then when you hit to like see the comments, there won't be anything there. And I've done that to where I've like refreshed it a couple times, and then the comment will pop up, and I'll respond to it, and then I'll come back and like hit it again, and it won't be there again. I'll have to like refresh it to see the comment. It's weird.
I mean, they do updates all the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's, every once in a while they'll say, you're missing data from here, or there's missing data from there. And I mean, I get it. YouTube's a huge, huge. I mean, you imagine
Yeah.
you imagine the amount of data that's on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
That's
And
insane.
that all that stuff, I mean, I understand. I totally understand it. The one thing I'm not a big fan of, and I kind of wonder about is the unsubscribing thing. And I literally had it proven to me. Matter of fact, I think it was yesterday that it's a thing because my subscriber count dropped one, and then it went back up one, and it wasn't any time later. Somebody messaged me and they just like talk or whatever, but in the conversation they mentioned they were like, "Hey, I figured out why I wasn't getting notifications for your channel," and I was like, "Why?" And they said I'd been unsubscribed, and I said, well, "Did you find that out today?" And then like go fix it, and they were like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Dude, I lost one and then gained one today."
Well, that happens all the time to me.
Mm-hmm.
It'll sit there and do this, and it's like, and I know, and I've had people tell me that too. They're like, dude, I was subscribed to you, but now I'm not for some reason. And I've had it happen to me as well. I'll be like,
Yeah.
man, I haven't seen so and so in a while. Man, I hope they're okay. I go to the channel and, they've got 6 new videos, and I'm like, what? And it says subscribe. And I'm like, I've been subscribed to this guy for like a year and a half. What's going on? And I don't know what that is. I don't know why it does that.
Well, it happened to me 3 times with Carlos, DCS Carlos. Like 3 times I've gone and I was unsubscribed to him.
Really? That's
Yep.
weird. That's weird. Now I know. Now I wonder. I know he was one that, I don't know if you've seen that new feature that's coming out where it's called the applause feature or whatever it is, where you can
Mm-hmm.
like people can actually donate if they want to support the channel. They like the video, they can actually hit the applause button. They can actually donate to a specific video. They can like donate you
Wow.
$1 or something. Yeah, that's been in beta for quite a while, and I know he was one that had that, because I was like, him and I were talking at one time, and I was like, dude, where'd you get the applause? And he's like, what? He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, dude, underneath your videos, man, you have this applause button, and I can go ahead and donate to your video if I like your video. And he's like, I do? He was like, I was like, yeah, well, come to find out that it was beta, and only it just went out to certain people like they do. And I was like, that's pretty cool. And you can pick all, just like you can with like the super stickers and stuff.
Yeah.
So anytime I went and watched one of his video, I'd give him a little sticker, the dude dancing around or something like that. He's like, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know, man. He's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, it's cool, man. I was just wondering where it came from.
That's
So,
weird. You'd think they would have notified him, let him know, because that's kind of important.
I mean, I guess it just goes in with everything, like your AdSense and all that good stuff, or your super
Yeah.
chats or whatever. But that's, and the other thing I've noticed is, there's talk about people when they, like you're coming up on 1,000 and stuff. Somebody be like, man, I don't know if I'm going to monetize my channel or not. I can tell you, I've seen Jersey Knife Guy,
Uh-huh.
Last Ranger, and one other one. Their channels aren't monetized, but I've seen ads on there before their videos. Because YouTube's starting to do that. They're starting to put ads on videos that they're on channels that aren't even monetized.
Oh yeah,
So
they've been doing that a lot.
yeah,
Because I've seen them on my own. Like I've gone back after I've uploaded and I'm like going through checking stuff. I've seen them. I've pulled up like hit a video and it'll bring it up and then an ad starts playing. And I mean, not to speak ill of the YouTube, but it kind of works out in their favor when they demonetize somebody, especially like a bigger, say 50,000 or so subscriber channel. Whereas before it didn't do them any good. Now it's kind of like, oh, so you get all of it now.
yeah. So I just well, it's probably been in the last month or so that I've noticed that. I was like, huh. So they are, because I'd heard that they were going to start doing that. They were going to just run ads wherever they wanted to. And so, yeah, whatever. I mean, it's not, like I said, I monetize mine. I have ads. It helps a little, but the guys, I tell you what, the channel memberships, dude, these guys, like you, I mean, you're a channel member, man. Y'all been keeping me going. I I don't know what I would do without it. To be perfectly honest with you, it would be slim pickings.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing because I mean you have it set to like basically auto renew. It's like an auto pay, so it just you don't even
Right.
think about it. It goes ahead and it takes it out. But you know, as a viewer, that's going to be something that the channel can count on. That they know it's going to
Yeah.
be for the most part, you know,
Right.
barring any strange incident, they can count on it every month, and it takes a little bit of stress off you because you don't have to worry about remembering to renew it or resubscribe or
Right.
anything. So yeah, I dig it.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a few out there. I've got a few out there that I'm subscribed to, of course, because the channels that I like, and um, but it definitely, no doubt. I mean, and you know, we've been. I'm gonna. Well, by the time people see this, I'll have the video will already be out. But I got a bunch of the 80s together. I got the 8010, the 8015, the 20, and the 20.5. Not a single one of those knives are mine. I had four different people loan me four different knives so I could do a video. And to me, that just kind of goes to show the, I won't go too deep, but the true meaning of what this community is all about.
Yeah,
And I tried to stress it without stressing it in that video, if you will. You know what I mean?
exactly. Have you noticed it always comes at the most needed time? Like
Oh yeah.
you get to a point you're kind of wondering like, what am I gonna do? I don't have, and then poof, either something shows up in the mail or you get an email from somebody and they're like, hey, I was thinking about such as I want to send you this to check out to review, and you're like, holy cow,
Yeah.
like the EDC gods have spoken.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's, I mean, I get emails I do get an email every once in a while like, hey man, have you seen this knife? And be like, no, or yes, whatever the case may be. And usually if I say yes, they're like, okay, what about this one? Or okay, what about this one? And it's like, whoa, okay. That's cool. But I mean, speak of the devil, got one right here. You know,
Yeah,
that's from Jack, Suburban Tactical Nation. We'll talk about knife. We'll talk about a knife for a little bit. Dude, this thing is crazy. It's skinny, slim. It's the Boker Excalibur 2.
I have actually been interested in that for a while now because I can't remember who mentioned it. It might have been Rick Kearns. It was some they mentioned it or whatever, and I hadn't heard of it before, so I looked it up and I was like man, that looks like a Laconico knife. I dig that. Like I mean, it's just
Exactly. It's
yeah,
definitely got that, clean line type of that I definitely dig. And I'm thinking Jack probably knew that. I mean, he must have known that
right.
because he's like, well, I'd loaned him my Chris Reeve, my small and Cosi. I lent that to him, and then he was like, "Hey, man, I have this Boker that I think you might like to check out. You want to check it out?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. It's a knife. I'll check it out."
Heck yeah.
But it's super super slim. So,
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed about it whenever I looked it up. Like as far as like the thickness this way, I mean, it was like
oh, it's
super super
yeah.
skinny.
Well, where's a? I don't know if we can get this, but kind of compared to the bug out. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah, it's definitely slim. Yeah, it's slimmer than a bug out. It's definitely slimmer than a bug out. I know it's kind of hard to see in the
Yeah,
a
but
little
yeah, I
slimmer.
mean,
It's not a lot slimmer, but it is. So
which is that's big because the bug out's a slim knife, so
yeah,
and the Excalibur's more. I mean, if you see it, you know, the profile of it, it's more of a beefy-ish knife. So
Mm-hmm.
that's,
So what's been going on, man? I mean, I know we pretty much talk damn near every day, I think.
yeah,
Once or twice a
in
day.
some, in some form, either through a comment on something or
Right.
messages. Yeah, it's going good. Finally, well, summer's over, so of course we're getting back into the whole workforce thing, which is a good thing.
Well, that's good. That's
Always a
good.
good thing.
Yeah, for
Hope about
sure.
that. And we're gonna have more kids this year than we've had for. I don't know what happened. I think they just took on more students. Either they raised their numbers or they got more interest or something. So
That's
we
good.
usually run around 250 students total. We're gonna be close. I think we're gonna be over 300 this time.
Oh wow, that's a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah, it is. And they eat too. I mean, they're teenagers. They eat.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. So
Which there's a funny story along with that.
go.
If we we could we basically use our own judgment as far as how much to prepare for the meal. Which after you've done it for a while, you pretty much know like, hey, if I this it's going to take this much to feed these kids. But then you have that whole unknown variable of if they're going to get seconds. You know,
Right.
well, I remember one night like everything had pretty much died down because they get an hour and a half period where they can eat. They're like they don't have to be there at a certain time or leave at a certain time. It's just like between the hours of 5 and 6:30, you go eat, take care of your business, leave. You can sit down there and the whole hour and a half and eat if you want to.
Kind of like the
Well,
chow hall
yeah,
in
I
the
mean it's
military.
exactly like that.
Right.
Because it's just a big open eating area. And well, this night they had come down and pretty much died down. Well, then all of a sudden we got a little rush of kids, and the first half of them, like I say, we got maybe 15 kids in. Like the first of those kids finished off the main dish for that night. And when that happens, like it's the meat dish. So you like, well, we got to have a meat to provide them. So we'll just fry up some chicken strips, to replace it just real quick.
Right.
Well, like I said, it had died down until we got that last little crowd of kids. We fried up the chicken strips, and those kids ate them and went out. And then the next thing I know, there's like more kids out there, and then more kids, and I'm like, crap, I got to fry more chicken strips. I threw down another bag, and then another bag, and I'm like, came like piling through. So I started thinking, and this one girl came through, and she was like, she looked like she was, trying to decide, and she was like, can I just have some chicken strips? And she kind of giggled, and I said, what's going on? Did word get out that we had chicken strips, and that's why y'all are coming through here like crazy again? She was like, yeah.
Yeah. That was dude. That's just like on the boat, man. That's just like when you'd be on the submarine. You'd have like mid rats. Because
Yeah.
on a submarine they serve 4 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid rats. Because you're swapping watches every 6 hours. So usually mid rats was whatever was left over from dinner, and maybe whatever else the cooks decided to throw in there. Well, if they'd run out, if they didn't have a lot, and they would run out, they'd do like chicken wheels,
Yeah.
chicken patties, or nuggets, or something like one of the more popular. And the guys would come up, dude, they got chicken wheels for mid rats. And we're like, what? They got chicken wheels? I'll be right back. You're supposed to be relieving the dude on watch, and you're like,
Yeah.
they got chicken wheels. I'll be right back. And usually the guy's like,
I'll
all
bring
right,
some.
hurry up. Yeah, I'll bring you a chicken wheel. Yeah, no kidding. This is just like that. Just like that. So I guess it is pretty much like a chow hall.
Yeah, it is. And I'll be honest, the chicken strips that we get, they're good. Like they're
Yeah.
really good chicken strips. So
Oh, they like
they
the
don't they don't skimp on food because literally the food is the only thing the kids pay for. Like they don't. It's a public school, but it's a boarding school. So their parents pay for room and board, which
Mhm.
the main cost of that is the food. So they pay a big chunk of money towards the food. So they don't skimp on food out there. It's not straight out of a can or a box. Everything's homemade, and it, it's pretty legit. So, but I mean they're kids, so they love French fries, chicken strips, corn
Oh
dogs.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
that's
Yeah.
their bag.
Who doesn't like a good corn dog, man? I like a good corn dog.
Dude, corn dog nuggets are off the chain, man. Like for real.
Oh,
Those
and
are
it's
my
a
favorite.
my son. He actually sent me a text the other night. He sent me a picture, and you know he was in the Navy for 5 years as well. And he's like, he sends me the picture of, it was a picture of the Tapatio, and oh shoot, what was the other one? The ones on, it might have been Cholula. No, the ones that we always had on the submarine, it was Tapatio and Cholula. Those were the two we had. Right. And they always came out at mid-rats because we usually had chicken nuggets or something like that. He sends me a picture of the two bottles. He's like, it's mid-rats up in this bitch. So then I asked him, I was like, all right, are you having, this is how I phrased it. I was like, are you having hamsters, chicken wheels, or nuggets? And he's like, oh, it's a nugget night all the way, man. And I was like, I guess you are having. And just for clarification, I said hamsters. No, not real hamsters. It was the
gerbils.
It was those like chicken cordon bleus.
Oh yeah.
Like those prepackaged chicken cordon bleus. They're pretty good. They're pretty tasty.
Oh, yeah, they are.
That was a popular one. But it was just funny that he sent me that, and I was like, oh man. It had to be one of those three, though. I knew it was one of those three he was eating if he said it was mid-rats.
Yeah, it seems like the military, like their change is a whole lot slower than the real world. You know, as far as like you were experiencing those things when you were in, he's, you know, as far as food goes, and with the real world, that like things change so quickly with like what's popular and what's in.
Oh yeah. I guess there was a while back. I mean, we're talking, well, probably, if I say 2 years, it's probably been more like 4 or 5. But one of these boats that went out, their cooks screwed up something first. Well, they got extended too. They got extended on their patrol. And these guys were eating basically nothing but chicken nuggets for like a week to a week and a half. Nothing. Really nothing but. And I'm like, okay, I like chicken nuggets, not for a week and a half straight.
And I'm a fan too, but I feel like that's one of those things that you get tired of really quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, oh, those poor guys. Because I mean, really, on a submarine, food is a really good distraction from everything. If the food's good, you can put up with crap a little bit more. You know what I mean? I mean, you were in the Army. I'm sure you've done the MRE more than once.
Oh yeah, and that was kind of a incentive for us. They would, you know, if you do good on such and such, you'll get an extra hot meal that day instead of, because usually it was, for us, it was we'd get kind of a hot meal at breakfast. Usually by the time we got to it, it would be cold anyway, but our main hot meal was our supper or dinner or whatever, and everything else was MRE. But they're like, yeah, you know, we've got such and such to accomplish. If you guys get it done, that's the extra hot meal for that day. We'd get it done too.
It's a motivator. It's a definite motivator for sure. Yes, indeed. Oh man.
Because I remember like a very defining point in my military career was we were out in the field and they had served us breakfast. And I can remember looking forward to breakfast because it was like freezing cold that night. And I was just looking forward to that hot food in my belly, you know, whether it warmed me up or not, at least I would think it did.
Right.
And I can remember I'd gotten my plate of food, you know, it was like eggs, grits, maybe some toast, something like that. And I'd put everything and just put it in the bowl and mixed it up. And we were in the field, so we had our Kevlars on. And I was looking down into my bowl, and something, like out of the corner of my eye, something would hit. And I looked down to see what it was. Well, it was raining, and the rain was building up on my Kevlar and dripping down into my bowl of food, and it was cold as crap. And I looked over at my buddy, and I was like, are you sure we made the right decision joining up and doing this? Like, what are we doing, man? Like, it's raining in my food, and I'm cold.
It's raining. Oh my goodness.
Loved it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, dude, food is. well, I have to be careful. I'm one of those guys that I can look at food and gain 20 pounds. It sucks.
Me too.
Oh God. And it does now, of course, once they talk about it, but once you hit 40, once I hit 40, it sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked. I was like, man, I can't even.
Well, I had periods where it sucked before that because I love pizza and beer so much that
Well,
that
okay.
never does good for you.
Speaking of pizza and beer, by the time some people see this, we might be doing that very, very thing. I'm going to be doing I think we're doing SKL from a pizza shop in Oregon City.
Oh, dang.
This weekend. Me and Zach, and we're going to have some fun. So, yeah, we're going to, well, like I said, this will go up Saturday. So, but if people watch it in the morning, SKL's at 2:30. I know I said 2 last week, but it's not. It's at 2:30 because we can't get the place until 2, so I need some setup time. So it's gonna be at 2:30. 2:30. So, but yeah, that'll be fun. And it's a really cool little pizza joint. They got really good pizza. They got really good pizza.
So y'all are reserving like the whole joint, or?
No, they just got a little side room.
Oh, okay.
The only bad part about it is, and it's not really a bad part, but just with everything going on, we can't have a lot of people there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the only thing. Because I know I've got a couple, there's been a few people, you're going to be in Portland? You're going to be in Portland? I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, crap, I'm trying to figure out what I can do, and we're going to do this, but we're limited to the number of people we can have there. So I'm like, but that's okay.
The good
We'll
thing
still
is
have
you
fun.
just blame it on big bad COVID.
Well, unfortunately, but that seems to be the case. But that's all right. We'll have fun. We'll have a good time and have a good. Because I'm celebrating the big 5-0.
Oh. You know what's even scarier than hearing or saying the big 5-0?
What's that?
Is half a century.
Stop! Quit! No, don't do that, dude.
Dude, I'm like.
Well, John, it's been nice talking to you. No.
I'm like 2 years and a couple of months behind you, so I'm gonna be right there.
I know. It's just a number. It's just a number. That's all it is. I know I threw my wife a big surprise birthday party for her. No, that was her 40th. I surprised her for a big birthday party. And that, 40's 40, I don't know what it is about that 50. I guess it is the whole half century thing, I guess. I guess that's the connotation behind it. I don't know. It's just another number, really.
Yeah, and honestly, 50, I don't think it's going to be as bad as 40 was, because it's like I've had 10 years to prepare. Whereas 40, I was in my 30s. I was still young, and then I turned 40, and I'm like, whoa, wait, I'm not 30 anymore, dude. Like, I'm old now. So that was 10 years ago. I'm used to it by now. It's just like, okay, well, I'm 50.
That's
just like old with a little bit more experience.
That's like she was wanting to throw me like a big birthday party for my fit, and I'm like, no, it's just, I get it. I know she wanted to, but it's like, so she's gonna do the channel chat. That's her way of doing it. So I was like, all right, that'll work. That'll be fine. So we're gonna be doing
that. So.
Man, she's been telling me she's been getting a lot of questions and a lot of she's been getting a lot of comments, just people saying, not asking a question, just words. I'm really interested to see where it goes. And she's not telling me a thing, man.
Oh, really?
Oh no, she's got that thing locked down. Nope, she's not telling me a thing. She's like, you'll find out. All right, okay. So she didn't get to do her. So I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm not gonna, because this is her thing. That's what she wants to do. So, all right, we'll do it. So it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've done those. I've done those before. I've done a couple of those like Ask JB, and those are always fun to do. And I haven't done one in a while. And there's been a few more people join us in in the compound, so to speak. So that'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to it because I know how your subscribers are, and I think it's just going to be a really heartwarming experience, honestly.
Well, it definitely it'll be. I know it'll be a lot of fun. I can't really say what because I don't know. I don't know what's there. So I'm like, I know it'll be fun, and I know it'll be a good time, and I know she'll have fun with it. That's the main point. That's the main point for me is she's gonna have fun with it. So that it's all worthwhile. But talking about just the people. I know I mentioned that on your live stream. I got to jump in for a little while I was at work, snuck away, and but like I just did my 5K giveaway, right? And it's not just that one. It's pretty much any giveaway I do. Um, the amount of people that come in and say, like, hey, congratulations, good, that's awesome. It's awesome to see people do that. And I know you said, well, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but it's just still cool when it happens.
Yeah, it is. And I have an addition to that because it was another group I was in because I collect like the little they're like back in the day you'd go to music festivals and you could pick up, they called them hat pins, like different artists would make
Yeah.
pin for the band. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I collect those, and on Facebook in the groups they'll do like giveaways and stuff like that. Well, I can remember don't remember what they were giving away, but there was a giveaway, and I just happened to be scrolling through the group, like right after the winner had been drawn or whatever. So just out of habit, I go over and type in congratulations or whatever, and then I start looking, and like no, I'm the only one that said it, and I was like, so yeah, that's one of those things that's pretty exclusive to the knife community. That people just probably everybody in that group was butthurt because they didn't win, so they're like, I ain't telling them congratulations.
But no, it is. It's cool, and it's just the conversations that you can start up. I had somebody recently says, I'm sorry if I comment too much, or if I write too much. I was like, not at all, man. That's what they're there for. That's what I mean, at every video, I said, leave me a comment. I love talking to you. That's what they're there for. That's what I want to know what you think. And if you just want to talk about, the 94 Camry that you used to have, well, let's talk about a Camry then. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter at all. And that's what I told them. If you're commenting, I'm right there with you.
Exactly. And I think actually some of the like longer conversations I've had, like in a comment on a video, had nothing to do with what was in the video. It was something, it's like totally unrelated.
Probably,
and
yeah.
Just like we went from there. And you look, I hate that I don't get notifications because I'm like, I just keep having to check back and forth. Like, oh, let me go check, see if they responded. And I'm like, dang it, YouTube, get your shit together.
Yeah, I don't always. Sometimes I do. Sometimes it'll pop up, like if, like, you'll see the comment and it'll say, hey, the comment. So I was like, okay, I go back in, I respond. And then every once in a while I'll get a, hey, they responded again. Okay. So then I go back but that doesn't always happen. So if I miss the second comment, sorry. I try to hit the first one for sure.
YouTube Studio does a lot better at that than actual YouTube, but they miss them too. So
now, see, for me, well, the Studio app, like on my phone, I don't see those.
Oh, well, okay. If I open it up and then in the top right corner it has it'll either say 0 or how many new comments you've gotten. That's what I go by.
All right, now I gotta look. Because maybe I'm doing something wrong. It wouldn't surprise me.
No. Well, on the YouTube app, it'll say, like, usually it'll say it goes up to 9, and then after that it'll say 9+, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
Usually when I check it, it doesn't have anything to do with a comment. It's about other people's like videos that have uploaded.
Oh, you're talking about the little number that says like it's up in the corner. It's dark, and it'll say like mine says 4 right now. And if I
Yeah,
touch that, it'll bring but it's only YouTuber comments. Mine is.
Really?
It's only YouTuber comments. Yeah. Let's see. Comment notification. Oh. Well, I'm a dumb. I'm a knucklehead. Now I figured out why. Never mind. No, it was set to. It's got all, important, or none.
Oh yeah.
And it must have came. I mean, this is my new phone. I didn't go in and change it to all from important.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't do.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Important or whatever, and then you have to pick,
man.
Yeah. Which is dumb. It should be default.
You would think it would come up default as all, yeah. But it did not. So okay, well we're gonna go with this and see what happens. See, look, I learned something.
I learn something every 5 minutes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was probably something that I learned yesterday. But I learned it again today.
Forgot yesterday afternoon.
It's getting bad. It's getting bad. If I don't write things down. There we go.
Yeah,
50 again. 50. No.
I don't carry an EDC pin because I think they're cool, which I do think they're cool, but it's gotten to the point where I have to carry one.
Yeah, oh yeah. I have to, especially at work. I have to carry one and write stuff down. That's why I go through all those little notebooks and stuff so much. All right, my Saturday Night Live sign is haunted now.
Does it turn on by itself?
Apparently so. It's just sitting. It was just sitting there. No, I didn't turn it on. It was all the way over there. It just turns on, and I'm like, that's why I was like, okay. Well, we'll just let it sit there and blink for now. I'm not going to worry about it.
It's getting prepared for Saturday.
It must be. I don't think I got to pack up a lot of stuff to take with me. I don't think I'll take that, though. That's one less thing I want to have to take. I'm going to take a lot of stuff.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, well. So, I'm here a couple weeks ago. I did the face forward one back in Nebraska. I think that was the first face forward SKL I did. And people seemed to like it. So, and then I came back and I just kind of went back to my normal, and then, I don't know, here a while back, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a face forward one again tonight. And, well, it's kind of like these. I used to do these at my table, and I was like, it's really much more personal this way. And I was like, yeah, okay, so I don't pick up on things quickly sometimes. I get it. But I'm like, I don't know. I'm still trying to decide. I thought about switching on and off with SKL, but I might go to just all face forward. I don't know. I know that's not going to make KJ happy. When KJ hears that, he's not going to be happy, but sorry.
Well, speaking of KJ, I've got a bone to pick with him anyway because well, no, I mean, it's not his fault. It's actually kind of funny. We're just bored messing around, so I decided to call him, do an Instagram call on the live stream, but he didn't answer. So I was bummed.
KJ, man.
Well, I can say from this side of things, it's a lot more. I mean, not that it was uncomfortable, but it is kind of weird because you're looking at your face, and then over here on this camera, it's just either a table or a set of hands every once in a while. Yeah. So you do feel kind of weird, like you're exposed. And
and you're exactly right. And I was like, it's much better this way, doing it this way, and it's just more natural. It just is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. Now, I'm not going to change the way I do my reviews because I have a hard time sitting here. I'm trying to do, when I do my reviews, I'm like, I like to show the camera and look at that, and I can look at stuff while I'm showing it. But I don't know. I might go all face forward on SKL. We'll see.
Well, hey, what you need to do, we all need to do is like Bob DeMarco, where he's got face forward and he's got his little auxiliary cam for he can do the knife view. Like,
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh my. Somebody suggested that too that night I was asking. They're like, oh, you can do the multi-cam view, you know, like Ray does. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh no. I'm like, oh,
I'm struggling with the one, okay? We don't need to add any more.
Exactly. I can't get one camera to focus and you want me to work with 3. I was like, it'd be so bad. It wouldn't even be funny. Oh, no, if I got, you know, if you upgrade your equipment and stuff, it would probably be much better, but
yeah.
I'm simple, guys. I'm simple. I'm simple. One.
Me too.
One.
I get the mental image of when I worked in the kitchen at the Thai restaurant. The owner was like the head cook or whatever, and there were times I'd look over there, and he'd have so many things going on. He'd be at the wok, but he would literally be standing on one foot, and everything else would be doing something around him. And I just get that's what I picture me trying to do as adding another camera to it, standing on one foot, mashing buttons, trying to balance and be in the shot.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get to the level of like, I mean, there's some guys out there that have some really, really good, you know, like quality, like almost like cinematography in their reviews and stuff like that. I don't think I'm ever gonna be there. I just don't think
like
so.
Backpack B.
He does some good stuff. Yeah, he's got really good stuff. He's got really good stuff, and I think you have to have an interest in that stuff, and it's not that I don't. It's just not like one of the driving forces. I do this. I mean, yeah, it's about the knives, but it's more about the community. It's more about what I'm trying to build and, you know, establish and create, you know, that positive energy and vibe. And the knives help me do that for sure. But to me, it's more about the community than the knives. It just is.
Yeah, and the community is the people. So, I mean, that's why I like the live stream so much, because you're right there with them. You know, your buddies hanging out.
Exactly. So, and man, I'm telling you, like back when we were talking, you know, about you doing the marathons 3s and 4s, man, you got some guys that hang with you for the long haul, man.
You know, like tonight, I mean, you have a handful that, you know, they got to go to work, so they'll take off, or somebody will come in late. But I mean, the main core audience is there pretty much the entire time. And then you look and you're like, dude, you sat there for 3 hours on your phone or your computer or whatever and interacted with me. Like, I feel like I should be paying you like this.
I know, right?
Just pay to have friends or something. It's crazy.
Well, that's why I do as many giveaways as I do. That's the way I can say thank you for watching and thank you for being there. And, you know, that's why I do it. It's the whole reason.
And they're like, oh, thank you for doing the giveaway. I'm like, it's the least I can do. Like, time is precious.
Exactly.
Price. You cannot put a price on time. And you just spent 3 hours of your time in a limited lifetime. Like, you don't get to live forever, but you took 3 hours out of that lifetime to spend with me hanging out and talking. So
exactly.
The least I can do is give you something free.
Give you the opportunity anyway.
Or whoever won it, I'm giving you something free. The rest of you guys, you had a chance. You blew it.
You got to keep watching.
You got to do better than that, guys. Better look next time.
Well, you know, I mean, and that was like, you know, again, like I said, I just did my 5K and I had somebody not claim, and I used to give like a week, but if you give somebody a week and then they still, I've had it go a week and then it not be claimed. And
Yeah.
so I think pretty much everybody does. I think pretty much everybody's doing pretty much the 72-hour thing. I think I've seen a couple 48, 72. I mean, people have lives, things happen. And that was one of the comments that I saw a few times, was because I had to redraw for one of the packages, and they were like, I can't believe somebody doesn't claim. And I was like, we don't know what's going on in that person's life. They forgot. Trust me, I forget. They forgot, or God forbid, something more serious happened, And that was pretty much the comment that I put on most of those, is like, hey, we don't know what happened in that person's life. It's unfortunate. And I feel bad that they won a package and didn't claim it. But we've got to basically keep the system flowing, if you will, and keep it moving along. And I've gotten kind of, I mean, what I give until like 10, I give until 10 p.m. And I got home from work, got everything done, and I'm in here at 10:30 shooting a redraw because I want, it's got to keep going. Stuff comes in, it's got to go out, So that's just kind of the way I think about it, but it just keeps stuff going.
Especially in the pass around game, because it's like you got somebody after you that needs it, but not only that, there's 5 people after them that are looking forward to it. So if you're not just holding up that one person, you're holding up everybody after them.
I mean, that is the definitely the good thing about the pass round is I'll see knives that I probably would never see otherwise, and kind of like that poor lizard, the poor Bestech lizard.
It tried.
That was one knife that I definitely would, if I had to go out and purchase a knife to review, that would not have been on the list. It's just not me. It's just not me,
Yeah.
And I really, when I came into this year's, and we do as reviewers, we tend to review knives that we like. Well, not everybody likes the same thing I like. So tried to be more, okay, I have a pretty good idea. I might not like this knife just from the looks of it because it's just not my, like the lizard. It just wasn't my, but somebody else might. I was like, all right, I'm going to sign up for it and review it. And I'll give it its due, and if you hear me in a review say, yeah, it's just not my bag. I'm not saying it's a bad knife. It's just not a knife that I jive with. It's just not, And I've had several people do, dude, that's a wicked looking knife. That's pretty cool. Awesome. Very cool. And then I don't know, it kind of makes me happy that I was like, all right, I reviewed a knife that I probably wouldn't normally review, and there's people saying they like it. So, okay, job done. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that, I mean, that's the thing. Like you say, well, this knife isn't for me. And I mean, it's not their fault. It's just you're a reviewer. They're listening to your review and you say it's not for me. They're like, oh, it's a crap knife. I mean, no, it's not necessarily. It could be a great knife. I'm just not a fan of it. Which prime example came in yesterday actually, but I showed it on the live stream earlier, and it's a knife of Zach's, the Auto Presidio. It's a killer knife. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeously well built. Like nothing at all wrong with it. It's just it's not me. A little bit too big, and it's super tactical. Serrated, like partially serrated. I'm not a fan of that either.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool. It's something cool to check out, and
sure.
I'm sure somebody will see it and be like, "Hey, man, that's cool." And if all I can tell you is if the knife was executed well, and if it is, like, and that does somebody that little bit of good, knowing that okay, well, I know I can go buy this knife, knowing that it's well built, it's well executed. I'm not going to be unhappy with how it functions. The rest of it's just aesthetics, visual, style, which doesn't mean a hill of beans between one person to the next, because nobody's the same.
Right. Oh, and that's what I said about the best tech. It was built well. The action was good. It was a well built knife. It was a well finished knife. Just not one that I would have in my collection because of the looks.
Ugly as sin. So
that's funny. You're showing the Presidio. I got DGA bought the Presidio 2 and sent it. I'm checking it out. I'm gonna send it on to him. But when you said the Presidio, I was like, oh, I have a.
Well, I think this is the 2 as well. I think somebody in the live stream said the 2 is that one's auto.
No, this one's not auto.
Oh, well, they said something about the 2 was the auto version of the 1 or so. I don't know, but anyway, yeah, I think this is the 2 as well. So yeah, this is the 2 auto Presidio.
Auto Presidio. It's just the auto version of the Presidio 2. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Right on. So it's a good knife, just not your jam.
Yeah, I mean it functions perfectly. I'm not, and it's because I'm used to like the deployment on the 1 auto that I have is the ProTech TR3, and it deploys like so fast and so like with such force that's what I'm used to. And this one, I compared it to like a screen door catching the wind. Like if you don't latch it all the way and it catches the wind, it's just kind of a lazy.
Oh, really?
I mean, and it functions, and it's just not snappy like that ProTech is.
Okay.
And it's not that it's bad; it's just not what I'm used to.
Right. No, I get that. And I mean, I come across that. All the time. I mean, generally, most of my reviews are positive. Or a knife really has to just be like. I mean, there's been a couple that I've just been like, like, what is this? I don't get this. This is not, and sometimes it's a designer. Like Elijah Isham. There's some well-built knives out there that a lot of people like. Just I don't jive with his designs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing against him, nothing against his knives. It's just I don't jive with his design theme, or what am I looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? CRS, man. CRS.
Yeah, exactly. His
design style.
language.
His design style. Yeah. It's just not. This is not. I don't jive with it. And now, go back. Something like this.
Oh yeah.
I jam with that. I jam with that. So.
Your brain likes are not the same as his brain likes.
Exactly. It's pretty simple. So.
But so that Neutron, holy crap.
Oh, yeah. What do you think?
Dude,
I don't want to steal your mojo or anything.
No, which I'm not one for like the whole I'm not going to reveal how I feel about it, I don't care. The main point in a review for me is letting them know if I think it's worth, and not worth the money just if it functions well, if it does what it's supposed to do, if it does as advertised, not how I feel about it. So I mean, I think I see what the hype is about.
Yeah.
With the Neutron.
Yeah. Now, see, I prefer the Neutron over the Atom.
And I think I would too.
I think I'm in the minority. I think a lot of more people like the Atom more than the Neutron. That seems like what I hear. I prefer the Neutron over the Atom. That's why I have a Neutron and I don't have an Atom.
Exactly. And I think you're right about as far as the general consensus, because I think before I checked this out, I was for some reason in my mind, I was already preferring the Atom. And then, as soon as I opened it, held it in hand, I was like, oh, this is perfect. There's no need for anything bigger than this. It's just a very well executed, very carryable package. Like I don't know, that thinness, like you were talking about with the Excalibur 2, like
Mhm.
I mean it's less than 3/8 of an inch thick. Like that's insane.
I'm trying to think. You know that it might be slimmer than this one, the Excalibur. It
Really?
actually might be. Yeah, that's pretty slim.
Yeah.
But now I had to add them first. I liked it. There again, good knife. There was nothing wrong with it. And then I got the Neutron. I was like, oh, okay, all right. I think I like this one a little better. So
that it, that's the me one. That's the me one. I like that one. But the funny thing is, and I think I'm gonna be doing this probably it'll be before the weekend, hopefully. But I've got the CJRB Rhea that came in from what we call him Ninja, but he's JN on
mm-hmm.
YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The action between like the Rhea and the Neutron is like the same action. Like that snappy, like almost feels like it's automatic type deal.
Yeah, my Rhea snaps, man.
Oh yeah.
I was
Like,
surprised at that little bugger.
it's and even the detent's like pretty close, and it's the location of the thumb studs, and like just because you're like on this one, which only got it on the one side, so
Right.
and you're not pushing out, you're kind of pushing forward, so it's got that natural spot where it builds up the pressure, and then it just releases on its own, and it's gone. Like, and it means like that. Well, if you don't screw it up, I mean it's the same thing. It's crazy. So if CGRB was smart, they kind of adjusted the profile of this knife that could have a budget Neutron.
Well, and the CEO was like that. The
Oh
Rhea and
yeah,
the CEO, because they kind of got those little inset type, how they thumb studs are inset a little bit. Same way when I first, that was one that I heard a lot of people talk about, really, really liked. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'd seen them and I was like, And then I got one and I was like, it was like thwack. And I'm like, whoa, holy crap, man. I was like, this thing, no. First time I flipped, I was like, damn, this thing assisted or what? And it's not. It just, it like, it gets to that point, but it's not like you're forcing it. You don't have to force
right.
it, but it's like, it just builds up and pow, it goes. And it's like, whoa, okay.
And it's all about that geometry with the pivot and the thumb stud.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like because that's why everybody loves the Kaiser T1 so much. It's not that the action on the pivot is so great because it's no better than any other knife. It's just where that thumb stud is placed that you can build up that extra little bit of like kinetic force, I guess, and then
Right.
once it releases, it just flies out.
Yeah. And that makes it fun. That makes it a lot
Oh
more.
yeah,
They're fun to. I do. I sit there when I carry the Rhea. I just sit there and flip that thing. I'm probably gonna snap the pivot off. I flip it so much, but I do.
well, I told JN, I was like, dude, when you get your Rhea back, you're probably gonna have to buy some more deployments for it because I think I've used it all. It's just satisfying.
It is. It is. It's a fun little knife to carry.
Oh yeah,
So
and they've got any cool flavors too. So
you're a fidget guy. You like to
oh
fidget,
yeah,
don't you? Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
never. I never really. I never got into like the fidget spinners or anything like that. But now that these knives are just getting so, it's like, all right. Now I kind of see because that's all it is. It's a fidget spinner in knife form. It's
Right.
the same thing. I'm like, oh,
Well,
okay.
I never got into the fidget spinner thing either. So I mean, if I was around one that somebody else had, I would play with it because it was cool or whatever. But I never bought one, never owned
Right.
one.
Right. Same here. Same here.
Maybe if they'd put a blade on it, I would have bought one. That's on them,
There you
actually.
go. There you go. There, marketing, man.
Exactly.
That's a marketing opportunity missed right there. This is funny. This is what's fun about doing these. We just talk about anything and everything.
Well, I know whenever you were on my live stream, what was it, 2 weeks ago? week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Recently, there was more than one comment in there. It was like, man, it was like just like you guys were just, you could feel the flow there. It was just kind of you were shooting the shit and hanging out or whatever. And I was like, that's what we're doing,
Pretty
hanging
much
out
what
with
it is.
us two, hanging out with you guys. And
It's funny. This is kind of an IG conversation in video format. It's basically what it is.
exactly.
Because we'll just be talking about something like, oh, do you see this? No. And then it goes off into some other little tangent, and it's like, and then we're talking about that for a half hour.
Yep. And that's how the live streams are. It's so funny, man. Like these little, and it won't even come up as like, okay, this is the next topic. It'll be just something mentioned, and then next thing you know, like that's where the comments are at. So you're just kind of like,
The
you
rabbit
just go
hole.
along with it, and you're right there with it. Like I don't know, it's just like a nomadic conversation as far as like it just constantly moving around.
That's again, that's what makes them so fun. It doesn't have to be about any one thing. It doesn't have to be about anything in particular. It can just be about whatever people want it to be about.
Yeah.
Because what was it? Was it Casey's live stream the other night? He said Kershaw mixtape.
Oh yeah.
He gave away the Kershaw mixtape.
I might have to take a little bit of blame for that.
I think you started with the Kershaw 8-track, and then it was just like DVD and laser disc and the Kershaw, and then it just kind of expounded off of audio media and just started going somewhere. It was like, all right, we've definitely gone down this rabbit hole.
I'll have to be honest with you. The best part of it though was Casey going, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go back and look at this because I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well, that happens. That happens to me because if you miss that pivotal comment, you're like, where are we at right now? Because if you miss that one, you're just kind of like, I'm like him. I'm like, all right, I gotta scroll back and see what's going on here, man. And I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yep. I know that happened a couple times tonight, and I mean, it pretty much happens every time. I'll just be like, oh, you guys just talk. I got to scroll back and see what in the world you guys are talking about. I'm lost.
You guys chat. I got to catch up. Hang on. Give me a minute. All right, here we go. Yeah. No, and that's the other thing about doing, because the other night, the last time I did my tabletop SKL, I actually, because normally where I'm speaking to you is my tabletop, right? That's where I do my reviews, and my laptop's usually right there. Not the best setup in the world because I'm trying to show here. I'm doing this, a lot. So I tried to set it kind of off to the side, and it was okay, but my mic's right here. So the whole time after SKL, my neck was a little, I'm like, why is my neck? Because I was trying to look around the mic to see, I'm like, okay, that's probably not going to work either. And then if you do it like this, you can actually see the comments better. And I think that's probably better for the experience for everybody. Because one, my neck won't hurt. And two, I get to see the comments better.
So I'm not sitting here conversation.
Like, exactly. I don't get lost. No, I still get lost. I won't say that because I'll still get lost. But it's easier to keep up. We'll just say that. It's definitely easier to keep up. So that might be a thing. We might go to full face forward SKL. Sorry, KJ.
And I think the key to that is something to monitor the chat. If you go, you got your whatever you use for your camera on you, and then if you have like a tablet or laptop or just something where you can keep up with the chat, then you're gold.
I think that's what Zach does. I think he uses his phone for his live stream, and I believe he has his tablet to give out the chat. And if I could do that and have it, right here, that would be a good thing too. But like it's just like these. I think face forward's probably just the better way to go because it's it's just better for everybody, I think. More fun.
I don't know, because like the whole thing with, for me, the whole thing with the live stream is that connection. And I
Yeah.
think if they can see
Yeah.
your face, that there's more of that connection there.
Exactly. Exactly. So, well, I guess I'll just have to make KJ not happy and go with it. And he'll. I do know one thing. When I started doing the face forwards, he quit. He was focused on that, and he wasn't trying to get my red PM2 from me anymore. So
I'm pretty sure we all make KJ unhappy at least once on a daily basis, so he's used to it. He'll be able to deal.
He's funny. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's a riot.
There's a heap of those. There's such a bunch of just a good group of people.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because the same people that are on my live streams are usually on your live streams, and they're usually, I mean, there's some difference. There's a little bit of difference, but are on Zach's or are Peter and Christine's. It's like we just hop from one to the other pretty much, and that's cool and it's fun that way.
And I guess we're nomadic, just like the conversations are.
Pretty much, because you'll do one like on Sunday, kind of Zach does his at noon, Peter and Christine were doing theirs at 2, and it's like, oh, long time no see, Zach gets done here, 15, 20 minutes, half hour later, Peter and Christine go, and then it's pretty much the same group of people.
Yeah.
But you just keep going. You don't skip a beat. You just keep going. And I think when something like that happens, like some people will be talking about what happened in Zach's live or something they were talking about when Zach was live. And there again, Peter and Christine are like, what's going on here? But they were usually there, so they probably have an idea of what's going on. So that's too funny.
Yeah. Which it's horrible if you weren't there, because all the scrolling in the world won't fix it, because you're not going to find it.
No, you're not going to find it. You're not going to find it. That's true. That's true. You'll be lost forever. But, buddy, I'm glad you did this with me, man. I wasn't gonna have a channel chat this week just because we were gone all last weekend. We're gonna be gone again this weekend, and that's kind of when I do. It's kind of when I do most of my recording for them, because that's when I can meet with people and hook up with people and schedule stuff. But I was like, no, I was like, John and I said we needed to do another one, so I'll hit him up and see if he wants to do another one. So,
and I mean, hey, your best buddy only turns 51, so
that's right. Right. So we'll party. Like I said, we're gonna be celebrating during SKL. So maybe something other than cherry limeade hanging around. Maybe. I don't know. I guess I better look at some YouTube rules.
Something a little more mature.
Speaking of, okay, so like when you're doing your live streams, I just saw, is that a adult beverage?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a IPA.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I always keep this for, supplemental sips.
Special occasion.
Yeah, well, in between the sips of beer, you need a supplemental sip, just to, in case you're not quite thirsty for that, but you need something on dessert.
Wet your whistle.
Exactly.
You're digging the sheepdog.
Dude, I love it. That's my favorite one, hands down, even over the screwball.
I like the screwball. Sheepdog was pretty good. What's the one I have? Scatterbrain.
I haven't had that one.
That's got the elephant on it. It's got an elephant on the label. That one's a good one.
I need to find that.
That squirrel?
Mm-mm.
That stuff was wrong. That stuff was all sorts of wrong.
Yeah, you couldn't give that to me for free. I wouldn't take it.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. That was not a good one. I was like, I found that I'm pretty much, I rotate kind of between those three: sheepdog, scatterbrain, and screwball.
Which I think my main one is sheepdog. I'll get the screwball, and then which they finally got it in. It's the Balatin that makes like the caramel turtle and the bourbon ball. They finally got the peanut butter cup in. That one's good.
Which one is that? Who makes that?
Oh, right here. It's right here. This one, you can see it. It's backwards.
Yeah. Okay.
That one's good. And they also make, I think pretty much for any of these that you can find that they make, they have a cream version as well. And it's a little more desserty.
I like a little bit in my coffee.
Yeah, dude, that would be outstanding in your coffee.
That stuff.
That and there's one called Bubba's Secret Stills. That's kind of almost like a chocolate caramel pecan. Like, oh, it's really good. That would be good in coffee too, I think.
That was kind of what I started doing. If I had a cup of coffee, a little Kickstarter, a little Kickstarter in the morning. That's good.
Daddy's little helper.
Yeah, exactly. How like my sister's father-in-law, he always called it Grandpa's cough medicine. Where's Grandpa's cough medicine? What are you talking about? Oh, okay.
Oh,
I hear you. I picking up what you're putting down.
Medicine that we don't keep in the medicine cabinet.
No.
Yeah, and it's funny. You were the one that turned me on to the whole peanut butter whiskey thing because it was mentioned in a SKL at one point, and I was like, somebody said something about peanut butter whiskey, and I was like, peanut butter whiskey? What kind of weirdness is that? And I think at that time you were drinking Screwball, and for some reason I was like, I want to pick up a little bit, just get a little bottle, something to have a few sips here and there, and I was like, I'm gonna try that peanut butter whiskey thing. Oh boy, it was. So, and the first one I got was Ram's Point, which is kind of a cheaper one, but that's all that liquor store had.
I've tried that one.
It was still pretty decent. It was better than the Squirrel.
Oh yeah,
long shot.
Yeah. Not my favorite, but it's okay.
Yeah, but once I found that the sheepdog, I was like, oh Lord, I'm in trouble.
Where's John? He's walking the sheepdog. What?
Yeah, I'm walking the sheepdog. He didn't even take a leash. He don't need one.
No, he's fine. Don't worry about
it. It's got the leash on him.
There you go. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Yeah, dude, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this. I greatly appreciate it. You're so gracious, and I'm sorry if I kept you up too late.
No, man. Like I told you, I don't go into work till later tomorrow, so I've got plenty of time, and I mean, it was perfect. The momentum after the live stream carried on. I wasn't tired or anything. It was like perfect timing actually, and which is good because I always enjoy, chilling out with you and hanging out and talking. So that's an added bonus to everything.
Well, like I said, instead of an Instagram conversation, we just had a video conversation.
Exactly.
Probably would have went that way anyway. It would have been on IG. It just happened to be on video. So very
now
cool.
Other people would see it.
Exactly. They'll be like, "Is this what you guys do?" Kinda. Kinda.
Just hand them your phone here. Read that. Oh yeah, that is okay.
That is what you do. Okay. Good. All right, buddy. Well, man, I tell you what, I will let you go. I know you don't work till later tomorrow, but I know you probably need to stretch the marathon live stream and not even chatting with me for a while. But just thank you, man. Thank you for doing this. And I'm this one's going up on the day we're celebrating the big 5-0. So that's a little special for me too. And I just really appreciate you doing it, man.
50th birthday, so yeah. I'm honored, and I appreciate you letting me do this, man.
Sure, man. And we'll do it again. Trust me, we'll do it again.
Oh, yeah, several times.
Yeah, I got to be on the live stream again.
You're gonna be seeing a whole lot of me right here.
Right on, buddy. Well, hey, you have a good rest of the week, a good weekend, and I'll be talking to you for sure.
You do the same, man. Have a safe trip, man.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.
Bye-bye.